Toastmasters friends from all over the world. Are you surprised? You think that was a little weird? That is me. I love those things. But I was always being called a weird one. You see, my brother wanted to have a younger brother really badly, but he's got only me. He decided to train me as his younger brother, and I seemed to like it. We climbed up the whole trees we found, and we climbed down the walls and everything, jump into the walls, jump into the water. We are trouble one. And as I get into the high school, all girls were different from me. I didn't know outdoors and anything about it. I knew was how to climb up the trees and everything. And they told me, you are weird. When you are not in a peer, you feel lonely. But my mother told me that you are weird, that means good. I couldn't really get the point, but I trusted my mother. And fast forward 2 years later, I became a teenager. I was still weird. The teacher told me, you are too weird to be in the class. You go back. And I went back to the class. I kind of liked it because it didn't reach me often enough. I was struggling in my brain. I loved it. And as the 10 years passed, I became an office lady in Japan. To explain it, in Japan, those era, a good Japanese woman should be quiet. Don't express yourself. Don't get any attention. Don't be so expressive. Do you know how hard it is for me? But my boss picked me as an instructor to teach Salesforce for female. And I went to the podium to teach young female eager salespeople and told them, be yourself. We have a great product. We can sell everything. We'll be a great team. And I got this. And next day, I came to the office. No one was there. No one came back to the office. I got a lot of notes from the attendant. She was too weird. The instructor was too weird. I couldn't follow her. She was too weird. That was the most weird I heard in my life. So I pretended not to be weird. I decided, came down a little bit. And do you know what happened when you try to not to be yourself? You get weirder. I became really weirder. But somehow I got married. Someone got crazy mind fell in love with me. But 2 years later, he found I am too weird. And he said to me, he looked into my eyes and said, I'm sorry, you are too weird to be my wife. I lost my head, and it's my forte to lose my head. And I kicked my husband, and I kicked the table, and I kicked the wall really hard. And my foot stuck into the wall. Went through it. I forgot I rented an apartment cheap. And it looked stuck. Oh my goodness, my husband just left, and he became my ex-husband. And I was with my wall, and those 1998, that was the year. I searched my pocket and found little, do you remember the flip phone? And flipped it and called my best friend, Akiko. Akiko, I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain, but I need your help. And she said, I'll be right over. Don't move. You think? I was waiting. That was the weirdest moment in my life. And Akiko came rushing to me and looked at me. And she stepped back. She said, oh, Miss Sako, you are weird. That's why I love you. She gave me the new meaning of I'm weird, and that's okay. People can surmise I'm weird, and people get to know me, they think I'm weirder. And if you people fall in love with me, they will find I'm the weirdest. But still, I'm okay. I long to be myself or to pretend someone else. I'm weird in both directions. Get over it. Be myself, because being myself makes me happier. When I'm happier, people around me seem to be happier too. That's why I love the phrase, I'm weird.
Thank you very much, Miss Sako. Now there are two weirdos in Witty Storytellers. I thought I was the reigning weirdo, but I think I just got trumped. Thank you. I'm thinking one of our themes in the future could be how weird are you? And table topics and everything should be about. I think that would be fun. It would be in keeping with our Witty Storytellers. You had me laughing there. Thank you so much. And now I have a good excuse for not having Julie's introduction ready on my screen because I was trying to pull it up, but I kept on laughing. I dropped my phone. Seriously. So anyway, the good thing is our next speaker is somebody that I'm proud and fortunate and blessed to know that I've come to know her. So this is not exactly what you wrote down for me, Julie, because I cannot pull it up from my computer right now, from my phone right now. This would be from the heart. Our next speaker, we know her as the VP for Education, but also she is one person who is an inspiration because she never ceases to grow. She's constantly looking for ways to grow. And in fact, the reason why she likes Toastmasters is it always one of the reasons, in addition to finding a man, I was just kidding from the other speech, but it always gives her an opportunity to grow. And that's also why she's working again from the Competent Communicator Manual, but this time looking at it from the perspective of pathways. So she's doing speech number 2. And her speech title is in itself a demonstration of that constant growth and learning. The speech title is The Memory of One Easter. And as we all know, it is Easter now. So let us welcome our Vice President for Education, our inspiration for being a continuous learner, the one and the only Julie Curtis.
Thank you. It was long time ago and far away. I was just 3 months before my 25th anniversary. That Easter Sunday that I could never forget. And each time Easter comes again, I remember. I wanted to tell a tale about Toastmaster and just didn't gel. So someone who came yesterday told me, why don't you tell me the tale you just told me about Easter? How was your Easter? I will see if I can speak. Standing up. Yes. So, it was Sunday. And my friend, son Alex, came to pick me up. So, we have a picnic, he suggested, in the forest. Picnic in the forest? Yeah, it would be very interesting. So we went out, and first stop was the market. In the Romanian market, we bought beautiful fresh tomatoes, big tomatoes, and bread and cheese, fresh cheese. We didn't have more money, so we stopped there. Perhaps we had an apple too, each for us, for each. So we went to the forest, and it was spring, and not many people were there, almost no one but us. And that was better for us, of course. It was him and me, and me and him. And before the picnic, we begin to kiss and kiss and kiss, and it was beautiful. Then we sat down and we had our picnic on the grass, and we were a little bit tired, and we didn't know what will happen. So he told me, Julie, we are tired. Let's go have a little bit rest. I have a key for my friend's room, and we can rest there more quietly and have a small siesta perhaps. So we told, okay, suspecting what could happen there, and decided for the first time in my life that perhaps I can go all the way with him. And we went there, and I opened my diary and read him a poem, a love poem in French. We were in Romania, but that was my first French poem I wrote in my diary. And yes, a few hours later, I found my way home. And I went home and I looked in the mirror and I told myself, I am the same. I believe when I will become a woman, I will have another way of looking. I will be not the same. But I didn't transfer myself from one moment to other yet. 3 months later, he asked me to go to holiday with him. It would have been like our honeymoon. The first time together for 10 days. I had one problem, a huge problem. My father did not want me to go with him anywhere. I have read something very interesting, and that was that when I add details to something I tell, people will believe me. So the first time in my life I made a big lie. I went to my hometown. In 3 days I had seen many people, and what happened? I wrote postcards. I wrote postcards and I dated them 3 days, 4 days apart. And I asked my best friend to send them to my parents. Then I came back. I went to a wonderful holiday with my friend Alex, who later became the father of my children and my husband. And when I came home, my father looked at me and told me, You see how it is when you are a good girl? Yeah. I felt vindicated because before he didn't let me go anywhere with him. And then I went to my mother and told her what I really did. And she was really happy, but told me, don't tell your father. So it took me 1 more year to get engaged and 1 more to marry. And that was my Easter holiday and Easter Sunday, which I will ever remember. Madame Toastmaster.
Thank you. What a beautiful recollection. One of the many strengths that Julie has is to be able to craft a story and actually bring us back and then bring us along. Thank you very much. Wonderful. And now we move on, and I believe we may have some guests, although I am surmising. I'm surmising that all of the guests are Toastmasters, so you will all know that what we're doing now is we've had the prepared speakers, and we are now moving to one of the areas or segments